in a show like Heights, where Lynn had written this version of the show, sort of this proto version that he wrote in college. So when I met Lynn, he already had this 1-year-old baby. It's not like, hey, I have an idea. But he sort of, it was like, well, let's start to raise it. And we realized that we needed a lot of other people to help raise this. And we had this very unique experience because Kiara Hudes, who then came on to write the book, because Lynn was writing book music and lyrics for the first 2 years we were working on it. Kiara had this fully formed 120-page script where we'd already thrown out 25 songs. And then it's like, oh, right, we have to make this all of ours. And so it was a very particular kind of job for me, which was to incorporate that and incorporate this new parentage to it, you know, and then you start talking about it being new work and the fact that, you know, you're a music director and you're a arranger and orchestrator and you're a choreographer who all have to be part of that process in a very profound way. You know, it's about having a room that is whatever it needs to be, whether it's safety or, you know, that's fueled by passion and all those other things, which doesn't mean that we don't disagree in the way we do with our families and people we love the most. Having had experiences of having many years, luckily, to try to figure things out, you know, there's certainly something that allows the evolution then to occur in a way where you're interpolating all this new information from other people that are sort of marching to Oz with you as you kind of start going down the road, and then you meet that person, depending also if it's a straight play or if it's a musical, you know, and how many other, you know, people you're trying to, you know, to help serve. The back and forth and the push and the pull with the writer, which ultimately is the blueprint that we're all sort of trying to serve in some way, and I think the more time one spends around that, you know, again, being very subjective about it, if I can try to hone in on that and spend enough time there before the design process is even, you know, months away or what have you, going in and trying to figure out what the best space to play this particular, you know, this moment is, sometimes will appear to me. But a lot of times, you know, as those things start to reveal themselves, you know, it ultimately, for me, there's something that the writer said that I just find myself going back to and going back to. And I think that's why I haven't really found anything quite that is an experience like hearing a new scene for the first time or hearing a new song for the first time. When you're around that, you know, that juice is something that I feel so responsible and obligated to try to serve. So, you know, being someone that, you know, and all of you guys have done it in various times too, I'm a bad enough writer to understand and appreciate writing, and I've written enough terrible things to be like, oh, that was terrible, like, I really admire you for doing this. It's so incredibly brave in what everybody on stage is doing, and when this idea of ownership that you were talking about is something that I agree with in such a full way, because when you give, I mean, we want to take care of the things that are ours, and I certainly do, and I know that as a director, in a way, all of it is and none of it is, because I'm not there without the writer. I'm not there without the people to help me make it, and so, you know, our job is to be able to walk in and out of these rooms rather silently at the end of the day. You know, there's nothing stranger than an opening night, you know, event where it's like the people that know, and then, but our job is to sort of then figure out what our life is beyond that, whatever the life of the show is, and that's certainly something that is a discovery every time, I think, depending on the show. I didn't know how to learn unless I was doing it. So I had a couple friends from school, and in the basement of the drama bookshop, they had this little white room in 2001, and it was 16 by 35 by 11. You could turn the lights on, and there was 6 inches of dust, and this guy said, he was running the bookshop, he said, I want to have a theater company here. Can you make this into a theater? And we said, if you buy some black paint, we can start. And he literally gave us a desk and a phone and a computer and said, I just want you to do something as much as you can. And so for 3 years, every week, we thought we had to do something or he was going to kick us out, basically. And so at least we had a chance to throw it up against the wall. And that's what I think is so hard coming out, is how do you develop, how do you see it with an audience, how do you interact with those things? And that's I think what part of the struggle of being a director is.